Okay, so number 9 on the worksheet. Actually, there's not a page. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see, was anybody else? Kenton was gone. Still gone. Is he not? Well, maybe. Who'd you hear that from? What you heard from your own brain. All right. Okay, number 9, negative 5x. Really? Plus y equals negative 2. And negative 3x. Did I record this yesterday?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Did you look for it? Well, wouldn't have helped you if you did, but because you have to kind of have the worksheet to do it. But okay, so you guys remember how we did this yesterday?
Not really.
Okay, this was called substitution. We replace something with something else. We need an equation that says y equals or x equals. But right now, neither of these equations say y equals or x equals. So what do I need to do? Yeah, I need to make it say y equals or x equals. So for example, this y would definitely be the easiest of these 4 to get by itself. Because how do I get rid of this negative 5x? Add 5x. So if I add 5x to both sides on this first equation, I get y equals, you could say negative 2 plus 5x or 5x minus 2. They do not mix. Where's Brian? Sick. Okay. So once you get y equals, since y is the same thing as this, y is equal to that, that means in the other equation we can replace this y, substitute that y with 5x minus 2. So I'm going to rewrite the second equation as negative 3x plus 6, but in times, instead of y, 5x minus 2. Like somebody else was gone yesterday.
Abby was.
Besides Abby and Kenny. I feel like there's 3.
Owen.
Owen. Alright, I already talked to Owen. Okay. The 6 gets multiplied.
What?
Distribute. So at this point, after you substitute, it's kind of a normal problem. You multiply, distribute the 6. 6 times 5x is 30x. There it is. Let's see. 6 times minus 2 or negative 2 is negative 12. Alright, what do you guys think we should do now?
Minus 3x plus 30x.
Minus 3x plus 30x. Is 27x. Okay, we're getting close, It's kind of down to a basic problem, isn't it? So how do I solve for x? How do I get x by itself? What do I do with the minus 12? Plus 12. What is negative 12 plus 12? 0. Yeah. To get rid of the times 27, you divide by 27. 0 divided by anything is 0. Okay, once you get one answer though, remember you're not quite done. There's Josiah, where's your page at?
I don't have it.
From yesterday. That's what we did yesterday.
I can't find it.
Might get a better organizational system.
Yes.
You're 0 for 2. All right. Cut myself off. Okay. Once you get one of the answers, remember there's two answers, an x and a y, that are solutions here. So I'm going to plug the x value back in. You can use any of these equations. The one we kind of made would be the easiest, because y is going to equal 5 times 0 minus 2, which is negative 2. So if we plug the x value right there, we get y is negative 2. If you want to check this answer, 0, negative 2, you could just plug it, since we kind of got the answer from the first equation, these are like the same thing, you could check it with the second equation. If I plug in 0, negative 2, does that equal negative 12? Yes. All right, number 11. Oops, sorry, yeah, that's right. Okay, any ideas what should we do first? Luke?
Divide by 3.
No. Okay, you could divide by 3. Actually, that wouldn't hurt, but it wouldn't be necessary either. That's not what I was thinking. Might even divide by negative 3 on this one. Okay, that's not a necessary move though, but you could do that. That would make the equation a lot simpler. But I was looking at this one. So we need an equation that says x equals or y equals. This x would be easy to get by itself if we did what? Okay, we need an equation that says x equals or y equals. So we got to get it by itself on one side of the equation. So how do I get rid of plus 3y? Minus 3y. So after you subtract 3y, that goes away. You have x equals 1 minus 3y. What's 1 minus 3y? Well, it doesn't simplify, yeah. They're not like terms. So you just leave it like that. Okay, once you get the x equals equation, if x is equal to all this, then we can replace x in the other equation with all that. Actually, we kind of simplified that equation. You don't have to do this part. You don't have to divide by negative 3, but it makes it a little bit easier. If I plug in that for x, so 1 minus 3y replaces x, and I get an equation with one variable that I can actually solve. All right, what should we do? Let's see. Lauren, what should we do at this point? How can we clean up this side over here?
Add negative 3y and y.
Right, negative 3y plus y, that can go together. So that's like negative 3 plus 1, so it's negative 2y. So you can put that in front or in the back, doesn't really matter. That's a positive 1, so that's like a plus 1.
And you subtract 1 from.
Yeah, that's kind of normal after that. Abby, one thing I said yesterday was all these answers are not going to be fractions or decimals. So if you get a fraction or decimal, something went wrong. Just on this assignment. Later on there might be a fraction or decimal, but shouldn't be one on this one. Okay, so I got y equals -2. Now what am I going to do with that? I'm going to look for an equation where I can plug it in. We can really plug it in any equation, but the one that says like x equals is usually the easiest. If I put -2 right there, 1 minus 3 times -2. -3 times -2 is positive 6, so that's like 1 plus 6. 7. Alright, last one, 13. Alright, got a couple options here. Anybody want to, no, you already did one. Anybody want to say what might be a good first step? Okay, Devin?
Would you do y equals -x plus 3?
Close. Okay. For it to say just y equals, I have to get rid of this. How do I get rid of a negative x?
Oh,
Yeah, add a positive x. Negative x plus x is 0. So on this side, there will be no more of that, but you have to do that to this side. So now I have y equals 3 plus x, or you could say x plus 3. Okay, now what am I going to do at this point? Manny, what do you think?
Well, you would plug it into the equation up above. You do -3x plus 3 times x plus 3 equals 4.
Right. So since this is just the second equation rewritten, this came from this. So when we plug it back in, we need to plug it into the other equation, or else you'll get something up. If you try plugging in the original, the equation it came from, it'll just end up saying like 3 equals 3. It just won't work. It'll be a weird mess. So we're plugging it into the first equation. We're replacing, since y is equal to x plus 3, we're replacing this y with x plus 3. So the new top equation is -3x plus 3 times x plus 3 equals 4. Okay, then we can do distribute to kind of clean that up. 3 times x is 3x. Oh, this one's weird. I forgot about this one. 3 times 3 is 9. What's going to happen here? -3x plus 3x is 0x or 0. 0 times anything is 0. So that just goes away, and I have 9 equals 4. What do you think that means?
No solution.
Okay, it means nonsense. It means nothing's going to work. No solution. On the graph, it would be 2 parallel lines if we graphed it. We're not graphing it today, but just saying. 2 parallel lines have no solution.
Can you go back up?
Are there any that are infinite?
No, I think this is the only weird one. I think all the evens are normal. But later on, this will show up again. Okay, which one?
11.
Here, let's just zoom out so you see both of them. Alright. I know I checked like half of your number 2s yesterday, but I think it was like the middle row basically, but I'm gonna come around. I didn't check like half of yours, so I'm gonna see if I can I also need to pass out the homework, so.